Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so when it comes to Kaiju number 8, we've kind of, for the most part, looked over Sagan of how amazing of a unit that she already is. Decided to do a single run, just to kind of give you guys an idea on, if you have her, you are pretty much good to go. In terms of whatever the game has to offer, you should be able to do it with ease, even if you want to do it with a single character. Obviously one of the tougher content right here, both the Kaiju number 10s. I decided to put Sagan in the mix of things to take on both the Kaijus, just to kind of see on how she is capable of tackling both fights with the tier 15, of course. And again, this is just a clear indication and visual on why you kind of want to get her. Especially again in as I've stated, if you are free to play about this game, of course now's the best time to kind of re-roll, so that way you still got the chance to get the Ichikawa. Of course I know some people still want him, which is completely fine, but the shield player from Sagan right now is just too broken. It's too meta, it's too broken to kind of skip out on. Plus, by getting this character, you can kind of save up on your currency that you can currently farm up right now, because again, it's a little bit scarce, so you kind of want to make sure that you've got something saved up for what's to come next. Now, with all that being said, and as it's kind of trucking along, because clearly you guys can see she ain't dying, even though she's getting also, well, there's multiple attacks coming in, there's burns being applied, but she is just on that offensive, keeping herself protective, and of course burning the enemy whilst all of this is happening. So, hey, look, it's going to take a hot minute in terms of getting this done, and I'm not going to deny that. I think it was over 20 plus turns, but at the end of the day, the fight got done. All of the missions were complete. So we're good. We're getting maximum rewards. So again, a fantastic character. Now, this was kind of a given before, leading up to the release, because obviously with them making so that, hey, you can pick any 5-star upon release except the original characters, it was low-key a hint to be like, alright, the original characters are going to be busted and broken. Example number 1. Keep in mind, we still have Suited and we still have Chester. Obviously there's 2 other additional original characters that we know nothing about, but the way things are being structured, we've got the shield user, we've got the defender. It seems Chester is going to be the attacker, the offensive, the DPS, because the way that he works, from the little brief explanation that we have, is that he is a character that uses various weapons, so that way with whatever Kaiju he's going against, he's got the upper hand. So it kind of begs the question on how this character is going to work in terms of, does he have a unique style to where he changes his type? I mean, that would be way too broken, because the game just came out and something like that doesn't need to be implemented, but I suspect him to be some good form of a DPS character. And then of course Suited, she is a, well, from what, again, the brief description that we've got, she's more of a support unit in terms of providing, developing weaponry, etc., of course. And so I can see how things are being lined up. We've got Sagan, the fantastic defender, Chester's going to be a crazy attacker, and I assume Suited's going to be some crazy ass support unit. So these original characters are what looks to be the sellers. Now, that kind of comes back to what on what could provide longevity for this game, because as I've stated, and with the quickness of them releasing this banner, the Sagan's banner, of course, it begs the question, are they going to go fully committed into doing a lot of original characters? In the case of where Kaiju number 8 is, I do suspect that that is the route they're going to have to take, especially if there's another banner releasing next week, then they might need to look into that, because otherwise they're going to run out of content, and then it's going to get recycled, and then you guys know where we're going to go at the end of all of that. So yeah, just kind of food for thought on these original characters. So if you want to get a little bit of a head start and kind of a little bit of a break, yeah, for my free-to-play peeps out there, consider re-rolling, just to make life a lot easier if you just want to kind of chill and whatnot, and not have to panic and hesitate when the next banner drops, of course. With all that also being said, as you guys know, I spoke about Sagan's release beforehand in terms of leak, telling you guys take it with a grain of salt. Well, again, take it with a grain of salt. There might be some new gears coming in. Potentially, possibly. I'll put the image up right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about in terms of the gear sets, of course. So these are the ones that have been found. So again, do I think it's necessarily needed right now for the game? Nope. Because again, with the amount of work that goes into one character, it's stupid. Well, no, I say it's stupid. It's just how it is. But when it comes to the gear side of it, originally looking into it, it's very basic. The only issue that the gear side of it is where it's a pain is you need to have multiple of those vials to create the gear, and then you have to just keep spinning until you get the correct substat, which is super annoying. And that alone will take a lot of your stamina, of course. So, you know, in terms of releasing new gear set, we can do without right now. Let us chill. And then unless they go back and drop events, time 2 boosters and whatnot, stamina boosters, then okay, fair dues. But up until then, they can keep their gear sets. Plus the gear sets that we have right now are doing just as fine too in terms of utilizing our supports, attackers and defenders. So yeah, we're kind of chilling on that one. But anyway, coming back to, to the fight itself, so as you guys can see, so just an FYI, before anyone goes, how are you using SAGAN on both Kaiju fights? I did Kaiju number 1 fight, well, number 10 fight, sorry, and then I exited out, brought in a broken team to then clear the first fight, and then use SAGAN on her own on the second fight. So really just kind of putting it to a test on both sides, because I know with the second fight for the Kaiju number 10, whenever he kind of suicide bombs his teammates into you, it does a lot of damage. So I just kind of wanted to see how SAGAN can cope with that attack, and she ate it up. And the one thing which I do love is it's a bonus counter attack too, because again the birds kind of die, and so when it comes to the counter attack, she's got no one to focus on other than the main boss. So essentially he's kind of hitting himself, he's kind of doing his own damage against him. So it's a bit of a bonus, so there's that. Again, with how she works in terms of just that survivability alone, it's fantastic. If things do go south, you've got to keep in mind she has that revive every time you use that ultimate. Also bear in mind you've got that healing going on, so she has practically everything within her kit to keep her alive. And keep in mind, I've got 0 dupes in her. Obviously I've got a copy of a not a copy of a weaponry, like it's not duped out, but we've got like the shield itself. But this is a prime example on why you want this character. This is a prime example of why. If she can do tier 15 alone, whatever the game has to offer, she can tackle it by herself. That's how broken she is.